It allows us to be close to you. And if that isn't a cue for a song, I don't know what is.
When Michael Feinstein performs, it is nothing short of soul-lifting magic. When he appeared in the Blue Room at the White House, Michelle Obama, Burt Bacharach, and the president himself were seemingly transfixed.
Memorabilia and other artifacts that relate to the American Songbook.
And though Feinstein is often playing Tony venues such as the White House, last week found him here in Carmel, Indiana, enjoying a champagne toast hours before a performance in the club that bears his name. Feinstein's at the Hotel Carmichael. As the creator of the Carmel-based Great American Songbook Foundation, Feinstein is often here, performing the 20th century classics he loves and protects.
One of my passions is trying to keep this music alive, this music being what I call the Great American Songbook, mainly music written in the 20th century, but I believe it's ever evolving in that if a song is collectively known in 25 years by everybody, it becomes part of the permanent songbook in that it still has emotions and feelings for succeeding generations.
Feinstein wasn't in Carmel for his performances alone. July found him overseeing his high school songbook academy.
I started a high school songbook academy as part of our Great American Songbook Foundation, headquartered here in Carmel. And we have an annual high school songbook academy that happens every July. And so young people from all 50 states come and participate for this week-long intensive and learn about the American Songbook. And it's amazing to see how they embrace this very old music that still resonates for these young souls, and they listen to it alongside whatever contemporary music they like, and it becomes a part of their lives.
You can't talk to Michael Feinstein without talking about Ira Gershwin, the iconic lyricist who teamed up with his brother George to pen classics of the American musical theater.
Was he a mentor for you?
He turned out to be a mentor. I moved to Los Angeles when I was 20 years old from my hometown of Columbus, Ohio. Ira Gershwin was still alive. He was 80 years old when I met him in 1977. I was 20. His brother George Gershwin, who wrote the music to these classic Gershwin songs, died at the age of 38 in 1937. But Ira, who wrote the words, lived to the age of 86. So I spent 6 years from age 20 to 26 working with Ira Gershwin, and I became his eyes and ears to the outside world, and he eventually named me as his literary executor in his will. And so I became deeply involved with the Gershwin world, and he taught me much of what I know about interpreting the music that I perform. I never went to college. I'm self-taught as a musician, so I learned on the fly, and to be able to spend time with one of the creators of the music that I love was truly life-changing.
Feinstein's boyish charm and packed performance calendar belie the fact that he is nearly 66 years old. It was more than 6 decades ago when he unceremoniously dropped out of piano lessons.
My parents took me for lessons, and the teacher would always play the exercise and then put the music on the piano. So I would just listen to her and I would copy it. And after about 6 weeks, she put the music on the piano and she said, "Play this." And I said, "I can't." She said, "Well, why not?" She said, "You've been playing everything else." I said, "Well, you didn't play it for me." And she realized I was playing by ear. I had that talent from the beginning. And my mother was waiting in the hall, and she said, went out to my mother and said, "Mrs. Feinstein, do you really realize that your son is playing by ear?" As if it was the worst thing. And she said, "Yes, I knew that, didn't you?" And she said, "No." So I quit the lessons, and I essentially taught myself to play, and I've been faking it ever since.